So today is assessment day for all of my clients. For the start of the off season, I like to bring in my guy, Dr. Tony Katakis, chiropractor, sports medicine, functional medicine, egghead, genius, hot guy doing hot guy things. Basically, he's gonna, with his staff, take all my guys from NHL down to 18-year-old midget players through the different testing protocols so that I can learn more about their bodies, and then he will help me create individualized prehab for each guy. So Tony, what tests are we going over today?
We're going to start off with taking all the guys on the table, and then following that, we're going to take guys in Y balance test, and then following that, we're going to finish with a force plate assessment. That collection of data is going to give us a whole lot of insight as to how these guys function and work.
Let's go, baby.
I am here with Travis Turnbull, my good friend. What we are going to do here is assess his hips and core pelvic function. This is all going to tie in together with all the assessments we're doing today. We want to see basically on this station how much range of motion he has and where it's coming from. So go ahead and lay on your back for me, please, sir. First thing I'm going to have you do is bend this leg 90 degrees, 90 degrees. Keep the knee right where you're at, and you're going to tip your leg out like a windshield wiper to the side. So from here, I'm going to kind of stop you here, and then keep your knee there, rotate out as far as you can. And then pause at the end. Okay, back to neutral, and then crank it in as far as you can. So that was an internal rotation test. This is external, crank it back forward, crank it as far as you can, And hold, hold, hold. Good. And that's an external rotation test. So external rotation on the ice is really that push off every single time they go to stride and push off. That's the range of motion that they need access to. Same thing on this side. Go ahead and crank it out for me, Big Daddy. Nice. Okay. And then, so that felt stiffer. Any pain? Back to neutral, neutral, neutral. And go ahead. Hold it, hold it. Good, back to neutral here. Now I'm gonna see, also, does he have any pain? So common places where hockey players or people in general will have pain in their hips is with flexion and internal rotation. Do you get any achiness, pain, pinching? Good. Now we're gonna go abduction and external rotation. And I'm gonna pin you here, drop you down here. Any pain or pinching in the hip? Good, cool. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side.
This one will be stiffer. This hip sometimes gets sticky.
Always this left?
Always, yeah. That's my read off foot on the ice.
Any pain here? No pinching? Okay. Here, drop it down. Anything there? Nothing in the front of the hip, back of the hip?
Just feel it right here like stiffness.
Okay.
But it's fine.
All right. Now, the next test we're gonna do, legs back to neutral, is a straight leg raise. So really the straight leg raise tells me a ton about how his core, his pelvis, his hip flexors all function, in addition to hamstring tightness and that kind of thing. So what I want you to do, Travis, first, I want you to go ahead and raise your left leg up as far as you can. Okay, back down. And then give me this side right here. Raise it up as far as you can. 83, okay? Hang tight for 1 second. What I'm gonna have you do is grab this, punch it to the sky, arm straight, and then take it back at about a 45-degree angle. Now, right there, I want you to think about rib cage down, low back flat to the table. Good. Rib cage down, low back flat to the table. Raise your left leg up as far as you can. 94, switch sides, and then pull it up. And 83, okay. So the reason we do that is if we maybe have a straight leg raise that isn't all that great, if we load the core and the pelvis in the right position and then make him raise his leg up as far as he can, does it improve? And if it does, it most likely tells us that there's some sort of pelvic component, pelvic position component to how well he can raise his leg up. So one of the things, if it is a problem, we would do in the off season or even before getting on the ice would be to activate and work the core and pelvis together in a way where it's neutral, in a way that gives him more range of motion, and in a way that maybe creates less pinching and pain and that kind of thing. So what Logan's doing here is we're basically assessing his range of motion, his ability to function on one foot at a time. So really what we're testing in each direction is how far he can balance on one leg and reach, how much range of motion he has in real life if he had to get down into a weird compromised position. So if we were to look at the big picture on the table, we're just trying to look to see how much range of motion is there. And then in this situation, we're trying to see how much range of motion he has access to in real life when he's on his feet, when he's standing on one foot, and when he's reaching in each direction. If anything's off, we'll be able to tease out if there's like a strength issue or a stability issue in the hip or the core. But if everything's all good, we just continue to proceed. And this group especially is more like a group of Ferraris, right? They really just need tire rotations and oil changes. Most of them are pretty sound fundamentally. But we're really just looking for those little details, what we might be able to do to help them stay healthy and maybe perform better if possible. For this last station, we're assessing athletes on force plates, and really we're looking at 4 different metrics. The first metric is momentum, how well they move their body, especially how well they move their body weight relative to their size. Number 2 is fluidity, so how elastic they are when they go through the jumping range of motion. Number 3, we're looking at power, how well somebody produces force and how quick they're able to do it. And lastly, number 4, we are looking at strength, so how well they're able to control that range of motion and what that means for the rest of the jump. Once we get all those metrics, we're going to put them together and we're going to create a composite score that tells us a lot about how that athlete moves and generates force. From there, we're able to kind of tailor what we do in the off season based on their strengths and weaknesses and address any red flags if they come up.